Hey guys, it's Kingda here, back with another Green Lantern demolition update, and the demo has started. As I was driving in today, going to the safari, I saw the carnage over there, and oh man, it hurts. As you can see, this is a bad view. We're gonna get a better view later, but you can see where the mid-course drop ends and where the turn into the mid-course kind of stops as well. The whole twist in the bottom is gone, and you can see the way the track has been removed. The rails are kind of like shooting off to the side, which tells you that it's 100% just being scrapped. Zooming in, you can see where that turn ends right there. That's towards the end of the ride. And it's very tricky to see here, but the incline loop is also cut off. I'm gonna try to get some better views as I move around though. There's your look at the incline loop. It is floating right now. This is a really, really sad sight to see. One of my favorite coasters at the park just being absolutely ripped to shreds. All right, we have moved to a new location, and oh, this stings to see. So let me break it down. All right, so you have that element right there, the kind of turnaround element that goes in the incline loop. The bottom of the incline loop is completely gone. So the top bit of the incline loop is just floating right now. It looks really, really weird. Then from there, you would have the kind of twisted airtime hill that is all gone, leading up into the turn in the mid-course. All that's left right now is the top of the mid-course, the top of the drop off the mid-course, and the top of the twist into the mid-course. From there, the first corkscrew is still intact, but the valley there is gone. It looks like the second corkscrew might be gone as well. That turnaround element is still there from the looks of it, but the second corkscrew is almost certainly gone. That's the one where you kind of dip down into the valley and then do your twist. That's gone. And then the rise into the brake run is also gone. You can kind of see that whole turn is missing, and look at, oh man, that's an awful view. Look at all that scrapped up Green Lantern track. That is hard to look at. Then there's the ending, and like I said, you can see how brutally it is ripped off at the ends. This thing is not getting relocated. It is 100% being scrapped. It is really, really unfortunate. But I can't really tell where the track actually ends on that end. In terms of like the other half of the ride, everything's still intact. The station is still intact. Lift hill, the drop, the loop, dive loop, that's all still there. Pretty much right after that lasso kind of element is where all the demolition has started. But like I said, this ride is definitely not being relocated. You can see that very clearly at this point. Even looking at like the incline loop, right, you can see just how jarring the end of that track is there on both ends, just completely ripped off. It is really unfortunate to know this is the third ever B&M to be scrapped. The other two were the two dueling dragons. So seeing B&M track looking like that, not a very common sight at all. Hasn't been seen in a very long time. So this is a really, really sad thing to see. I mean, it makes sense. I get why they're doing it. It's an old ride. It was originally built in 1997 in Kentucky. It was relocated here for the 2011 season. I think it's definitely ran its course. It's a shame, though, that it never really got to have its true time in the sun where people could actually enjoy it if it had, like, sit-down trains or something. But there you go. That is the scrap pile of Green Lantern. You can see the whole security area that used to be blocked off. That's where there was the elements of Lantern. There's the hard hat area now. It also has that silt fence as well at the bottom. Nothing to see on Twister yet. It looks like Lantern was their first coaster they were looking to attack here, or ride they were looking to attack. If I had to guess, they're going to take down the rest of this back half of Lantern, maybe drop the parachute tower straight down kind of towards where I'm standing, then take care of Twister, and then Ka is the next order of business. But this is a really crazy sight right here. Very, I've known this is going to happen for a little while, but to see it in person now, it's crazy. There's another look at that scrap pile. Oh man, that is a rough sight. As for the rest of this whole demolition, I'm going to kind of walk you through the way I see this going, right? So they're probably going to get rid of, like I said, all of this over here. This is easy for them to do as well because it's kind of not in any main guest areas. No one's going to be using the parking lot on this end, as opposed to like over there by the drop and the lift hill where typically there are cars coming and going. So that's gonna be a little trickier for them to do, at least during park operating time at the end of 2024, as long as holiday is going on. They're probably going to get rid of all of that over there. So we're going to see the mid-course. If I had to guess, by next week, we'll see the mid-course down. We'll see the incline loop down, maybe that corkscrew as well. Probably a lot of the other stuff, like maybe the back end of the brake run. I don't know if they're going to touch the maintenance building quite yet, but that is definitely something we're going to be keeping an eye on. I think the next one on the docket for sure is going to be the parachute tower. We've been wondering how they're going to get rid of it for a couple of years now, and if I had to guess, I'm going to say they're probably going to do it the same way they did it for Six Flags Over Texas's. And if you're not familiar with how they did it for that one, they just blew it up and it fell. So if I had to guess, they're probably clearing out this one little bit left of lantern. That way they can drop it straight down here. That way that'll be out of the way. And then from there, of course, Twister's a pretty easy demo. They'll be able to get right in, get rid of that. And as we know, Green Lantern, Twister, and parachutes, they're all kind of kept separate from the elephant in the room, quite literally being Kingda Ka and Zumajaro. As far as we know, permits have not been filed for the demolition of these two attractions quite yet. It seems like they're focused on getting rid of these ones first, because as we kind of have been able to figure out, these ones were the ones that have been planned for a little longer. They've been planned, at least before Kingda Ka and Zumajaro. They were likely going to close a little later, but things changed behind the scenes, and of course, all of these wound up closing at the exact same time, which is crazy still. But like I said, this is going to go, then parachutes, then Twister. Ka is going to be something we're probably going to be watching over the off-season. If I had to guess, Lantern will probably be almost fully demolished by the end of the 2024 season. I think the only thing that's really going to complicate things is the lift, hill, and drop. Like I said, it's just so close to where people tend to walk and drive and everything that could cause some issues. We do know that, at least like up here with the station, we know that the trains are already gone. They're probably being shipped off to another Six Flags park, whether that be Carowinds, Magic Mountain, any of the ones that have a stand-up coaster. They're likely to receive the trains from Lantern as spare parts. And then from there, we'll see what kind of happens. But this is going to be a very interesting demolition project to watch across all of these rides. But that's going to about do it for this Green Lantern demolition update. Next weekend, we'll be back with probably some more demolition having been done. They're probably done for the week since it's Thanksgiving yesterday, Black Friday today. I don't see them doing any work over the weekends either. It looks like Force Concrete, who are the people that tend to do a lot of the concrete work at the park, they're the ones taking care of this job. And like I said, I think Lantern will be first. We'll get rid of parachutes, Twister, and then on to Kingda Ka, and that's going to be a really rough one to watch. But if you guys enjoyed this demolition update on Green Lantern, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, guys.